A sunny summer afternoon here at Monza for race 3, round 2 of the 2023 Euro 4 Championship. As you can see at the home of the Italian Grand Prix, the cars have set off on their formation lap. 29 cars are on the grid, minus Aurelia Nobels, who was involved in a big accident at this very corner in race 2 this morning. Great to have your company here this afternoon. We'll take a look at the grid for you in just a moment. I can tell you Kasper Stuka starts on pole position alongside Freddie Slater, who, well, he did cross the line first. He stood on the top step of the podium. He took the checkered flag. He was the race winner. We know that so many of you are anxious to find out what has happened. We'll bring you up to date with that in just a moment as we take a look at the grid. Kasper out of grid 1, Freddie out of 2, Akshay Bora out of 3, and Arvid Lindblad out of grid 4. The Red Bull Junior for the Prema Racing Team in car 23. Row 3 sees James Wharton and Ugo Ugochukwu. James third in the championship. Ugo is the series leader. Brando Badoer, who was fighting for the lead this morning, out of grid 7 for the Van Amersfoort Racing Team. And Tuka Tappinen out of 8. Then we go to the first of 2 Tuscans, Nicola Lacorte, Rashid Aldaheri out of 10, Alfio Spinner and Ricky Lou, who's been in great form this weekend, Ivan Dominguez, Griffin Peebles, Zach David and Gianmarco Pradel, who finished P10 this morning in car 12 for the US Racing Team. Nandavid Birambakti, he's had an up-and-down weekend, did well to finish in P14 in race 2. Enzo Delini, David Lorini, Tina Hausman out of grid 20. The 2 AKM Motorsport teammates, Giacomo Pedrini, Frederick Lund, Pablo Sarazana, Flavio Olivieri is on the grid in car 96, Raffa Montanese, Kai Darianani, Diego Della Torre. We go to Ismail Ahmed and Karl Murad, the rookie who is driving a Formula 4 car for the 6th day ever. One of 4 Australians on the grid, starts out of grid 29. There is Kasper on pole position. Just quickly bringing you up to date with what happened this morning. We had, well, let's be honest, it was a bizarre incident on a restart. After the safety car pulled into pit lane, we had one marshal on flag point 3. Who decided he would do his best to audition for a forthcoming Josh Revel video, and he mistakenly displayed the safety car board. Half of the field slowed up, half of the field did not see it because it was withdrawn halfway through. I can tell you we have got notice from race organisers. It was not a fault of the championship, but that individual who has been removed from his post, he has been escorted from the circuit. He is not here this afternoon. The race results from race 2 this morning have been frozen, and the FIA will hold a meeting on October 5 to decide which action is to be taken. The standings of race 2, I'm reading this, which took place on the 17th of September, that's earlier today, are declared frozen. Pending the Federation's decision, the panel will take note of the events that could occur during the race, and a decision will be taken in early October. So we'll leave that aside for the moment. This is the final race of the second round of the 2023 Euro 4 Championship. Ricky Lou pulls into position in car 66. Casper, pole position for race 2 this morning, ultimately finished P9, but he starts on pole position for the final race this afternoon here at the home of the Italian Grand Prix in the final few days of summer 2023. The green flag. We wait for it. And now it flies at the back of the grid. The 5 red lights, the Euro 4 Championship. And for the final time here at Monza, we race, and Casper stalls. The pole sitter goes nowhere. What a disaster for Casper Stuka. He's avoided by every other car. As we see Freddie Slater down into turn 1, has just got the lead, but he goes wheel to wheel with Akshay Bora. A disaster for Casper Stuka, as Freddie Slater legitimately takes the corner, and with that the race lead. Bora up into second place. And Lindblad, as we try and look to where Casper Stuka comes through, the pole sitter stalls off the start. Oh, wow. His afternoon just got a whole lot harder as the field go down into the Roger chicane. Slater to the right of your screen in car 51, the rookie in the Euro 4 Championship. Bora in second place. Arvid Lindblad, James Wharton, Ugo Ugachuku, Brando up into P6 from Aldeherdi, Tappan, Dominguez Lacorte. They go through the Lesmo curves. There's the order at the bottom of your screen as the US racing teammates Ricky Lou and Zachary David go side by side. Griffin Peebles, a great start up into position 14 behind Zach. He's trying to attack. That's Nicola Lacorte, who's behind himself, Ivan Dominguez. Casper Stuka, position 27 in car 37 from pole position. A disaster for the pole, as Freddie Slater goes down through Ascari in position 1. Superstar from the rookie. One of his teammates straight through the gravel into the grass. It's Nicola Lacorte rejoins. That's how you find the track limits, as Nicola found out had to get out of the throttle through the sand, went rallycross, has lost about 7 or 8 places, but he's still in the race. Freddie Slater, the former World Kart Racing champion, has got the lead as they come across the line for the first time. Take a look at this down through the Ascara chicane. Nicola sideways. He did superbly well to hold on to it. Through the grass, over the ripple strip, through the gravel, rejoins just ahead of Ricky Lou. As Enzo Delaney, Griffin Peebles just ahead. Slater in position 1. Bora, Lindblad. A big lock-up from the championship leader. Tries to take his teammate. Runs into the back of James. The McLaren Junior into the back of the Ferrari Junior, the 2 Prema-powered teammates. James beached on the ripple strip. Rashid Aldeherdi on the outside of Dominguez. Spinner, David, James out of the car and out of the race. Hugely disappointing. Underline the word huge for James Wharton, who 3 minutes ago was still 3rd in the championship. He's out. 2 of the front runners have had disastrous starts to the final race of the afternoon. The safety car is on standby. You saw the yellow flags waving, just a local yellow for the moment. And as I finish the sentence, now it is deployed. Casper Stuka stalling from pole position. He's in position 23, that James Wharton, coming together with his teammate, is out. And this is the reason why. Ugo locks up on a slippery track, tried to pull it back together. Front left into the right rear. James Wharton beached on the ripple strip. The Ferrari Junior is out. Quite simply, no comment needed. Ugo Ugachuku tried everything possible to avoid his teammate. That did not happen. He is the championship leader, but a cloud now hangs over the second New Yorker inside the top 5. The first of which is Bora in second place. Freddie Slater, the race leader. James Wharton is out. Casper Stuka stalls off the start, and he's back in 23rd place. Wow, a sensational start, and I can tell you that that incident between Ugo and James is obviously immediately under investigation. The safety car deployed. There is Freddie Slater, who crossed the line in P1 and runs P1 here this afternoon in race 3, round 2, the Euro 4 Championship. The Englishman first and third, split by Bora in second place. Brando, he's up into P4 from Ugo, who was involved in that incident with James Wharton. There's the safety car in the background. There's James' car 13 in the foreground. To the side of the circuit, the Australian is out. Lap 3, race 3, round 2, the Euro 4 Championship. Slater in position 1, Bora, Lindblad. Brando's made a good start. Up into P4 from Ugo Ugachuku, who is under investigation. Tuka Tapanen, Ivan Dominguez, Aldeherdi, Spinner, car 9, position 9. And Zach David, car 20 in position 10 ahead of the two Australians. Gianmarco Pradell, Griffin Peebles, Biram Bhakti, who's had an eventful race in car 57. The tie goes by ahead of Enzo Delindi. Good recovery from Nandavid Biram Bhakti. As we get news, the safety car will enter pit lane at the end of this 5.7 kilometre lap. Biram Bhakti was beached on the Ripple Strip just after 3 corners in race 2 this morning. Avoided the carnage, fought back well to finish in P14, his 13th. There's the tie going by, just ahead of Enzo Delini, Ricky Lou, Frederick Lund, Tina Hausman, David Larini, the 2 AKM Motorsport drivers. Just ahead of Nicola Lacorte, as Rafa Montanese, the Peruvian from Lima, El Peruviano, on debut in Euro 4, rounds out the field. Nicola Lacorte, position 19 after that rallycross effort on the opening lap of the race. The safety car will pull into pit lane at the end of this lap. Hope for Kasper Stuka, he's down in 23rd place. Kasper is second in the championship. He's still in the race. James is out. Ugo P1 in the championship. This is the second of 3 rounds, the final round on the 22nd of October at Barcelona, as Freddie backs the field up. The final round in Spain will be a double points affair, so it's not over yet for the likes of Kasper back in 23rd, and James, who is out. Ugo, the championship leader, on 86 points. Kasper second on 62, but back in 23rd position. James still third in the championship on 60 points, but he's out of this race. There's Freddie Slater, car 51. Stares at his right side mirror and can see, well, first of all, his countryman, Arvid Lindblad, the Red Bull Junior, and between the 2 English drivers is the American, Akshay Bora. The flag is now being waved green on the start-finish line. Now the marshals do exactly the right thing. They withdraw the yellow flag and Freddie goes. Good restart from the Englishman as the sun starts to set here in the north of Italy. Slater, perfect restart from the former World Kart racing champion. As he comes across the line, the green lights are flashing and the green flag waves. Slater goes position 1. There's Lindblad, who's now being attacked by Brando Badoer, who's got a fast car this weekend. Brando in car 15 for the Dutch Van Amersfoort racing team. The field scattered down into turn 1. Lindblad goes deep. Lindblad goes so deep. Brando locks up, does superbly well, does the Italian, to keep it on the track and avoid every other driver in front of him. Nicely done by Brando, who's well in contention for a victory here this afternoon. He's behind Bora. There's Rashid Aldeherdi. Enzo Delini's there as well. Back to Griffin Peebles, Ricky Lou, Frederick Lund and Tina Hausman. Super restart from Slater, locks up into the Roger chicane. The Englishmen go 1 and 2. In the final race, the second round of the Euro 4 Championship here at the home of the Italian Grand Prix. They scatter in the background. There's Spinner going through in car 9, up into position 8. Behind one of 2 former World Cup racing champions in the field, that's Tuka Tapanen. And Freddie Slater still runs position 1. Out of the second Lesmo curves, Olivieri, Darianani, Ahmed Della Torre, Kamal Murad and Rafa Modanese rounds out the field. Look at them scattered down into the Ascari chicane. That's Gianmarco Pradell on the inside of his countryman. The 2 Australians go wheel to wheel. There were 4 of them that started the race. We're down to 3. As Giacomo Pedrini goes rallycross. Nicely held as well. That is the effect. That's how you control track limits. That's how you keep the race clean. Grass and gravel, it does the job. There's no just straight lining through asphalt. Had to get out of the throttle, did well to bring it back on the track. He is still in the race, even if Giacomo Pedrini, the young rookie, has lost quite a few positions. Slater, as we pass 1/3 race distance, flashes across the line. At ferocious speed, almost 250 k's an hour. Look in the background, Dominguez on the charge. Going wheel to wheel with his teammate Brando Badoer. Brando, position 15. Sorry, car 15 position 5 and Dominguez in car 17 as the rest of the field go on through. Pedrini just a moment ago, straight through. Did well to hold on to it. Brought it back on the circuit. The young rookie, the second generation racer, his father Andrea, here at the circuit, former Porsche Carrera Cup racer. Well done to Giacomo. Back to the fight for the lead. The drivers from the Kings England go 1-2. It's Fast Freddy from the Red Bull Junior Arvid Lindblad. Rashid looks good. There's Griffin Peebles on the outside, and he loses a position as the Emirati takes the place. Ugachuku just ahead, as is Tapanen. Rashid, there he goes, car 14, the Huawei-backed Emirati. Enzo Deligny, the French-American driver, racing in the Spanish Championship. Throughout 2023, having a good run here this afternoon. We'll get back to that in a moment because we are getting a word from race control. Stand by, car 3. That's the championship leader, Ugachuku. He's in position 7. Drive-through penalty there to the right of your screen for the American. Obviously for the contact earlier with James Wharton, who is out. Ugo with a drive-through penalty. Slater across the line from Lindblad, Bora, and the 2 VAR cars. They're quick here this afternoon. Slater with a 154, 211, but it's bettered by Brando. Puts in a 53.674. Brando is absolutely flying as Lindblad dives down the inside. And the top Englishman is the Red Bull Junior, Arvid Lindblad, who goes P1. The Londoner takes the driver from the British Midlands on debut in the championship. Fast Freddy back to second place, then it's Bora. Lindblad goes position 1 with a nice pass down into the first chicane. Still the 2 Australians fight together, Gianmarco Pradell and Griffin Peebles. Lindblad down into the Rocha chicane. Bora, and then the 2 fastest drivers on the circuit for Van Amersfoort Racing. Gianmarco Pradell on the outside. Just ahead of them, car 20, the Filipino Zachary David. Brando Badoer at 53.674, top speed through the trap at just under 250 k's an hour, 247. There is Gianmarco, just behind Enzo Deligny. Ricky Lu, Griffin Peebles, Kasper Stuka, Tina Hausman, Lacorte, Lund, Sarazan, Lorini, Biron Bakhti, Darianani, Olivieri, Diego Della Torre, Kamal Murad, Rafa Modanese, and the Uzbek Ismail Ahmed ahead of the recovering Giacomo Pedrini. Brando is on for the win here this afternoon. We are approaching half race distance as he pulls out of the slipstream, gets the tow. This move into the Michele Alboreto Parabolica will put the driver from Montebelluna, north of Venice, off onto the podium. Nicely done by Brando. Car 15, position 3. Bora back to 4. Lindblad leads from Slater. Bora tries to respond. He'll be on the inside. The VAR car is quick. They flash across the line, 246, 247 k's an hour. Bora, Dominguez, Tapanen, and Rashid Al-Baheri as Ugo comes into pit lane to serve his drive-through penalty that effectively, I won't say eliminates him from the points, but makes his afternoon oh so much harder. Spare a thought though for James Wharton, who's out. We'll see where Ugo feeds back in. It will be right near the bottom of the field as Tuka with a 53.177, average speed of 184 k's an hour, which is around about 120 miles an hour for our friends watching on live in the United Kingdom, the United States, and about half a dozen other countries around the world. but still failed to embrace the metric system. Lindblad goes P1. Slater into the Lesmo curves. He's catching up to the Red Bull Junior. Brando on the podium at the moment. Out of the Lesmo curves, down through Saraglio in just a moment. Slater settles into a rhythm. This is round 2, race 3, the Euro 4 Championship for 2023. Brando is quick. The fastest driver on the circuit, though, is the former World Kart Racing champion, Tuukka Tappinen, the Ferrari Junior, in car 8 in position 5. Has a look at the back of the Bora. The sportsmanship flag, if you don't mind, for Brando by the way. He will not mind that at all because he's quick. There's his teammate, Dominguez. We go back to Rashid. Good try from the Emirati. Zachary David, Gianmarco Pradel, and Alfio Spinner, Il Siciliano, car 9 in position 10. Ricky Liu, Kasper Stuka. That is the pole sitter just behind. He's up into 13th place. Nicely done by Tuukka. Takes another one. And Bora falls back to position 5. We just passed half race distance. Race 3, round 2, the Euro 4 Championship. Presented by WSK Promotion, the second of 3 rounds. It's a double points final in Barcelona in October to decide the inaugural edition. As Freddie down the inside, he's on the dirty part of the circuit, but he's on the inside. Can he get it stopped? Indeed he can. Nicely done from the oldest of the 5 Slater siblings from the Midlands of the Kings, England. He retakes the top spot from Arvid Lindblad. The Red Bull Junior is being caught by Brando. Tappinen, the fastest driver on the circuit, in position 4. Pradel, David going through in car 9. Slater under attack into the Rocha chicane. It is now a 4-car fight. The fastest driver on the circuit is from Finland. He's a Ferrari Junior. He's in position 4. He's trying to attack Brundle. Into Lesmo 1. The forest on the infield has been thinned during the summer months with tremendous storms, which took out around about half the trees in what did resemble a suburban forest. Up until about 2 months ago, there is Pradel going through just ahead of Spinner. Deligny, Stuka up into P12, so points are still on for the pole, who stalled off pole position from the start, fell back to 27th place, but he's now only 2 positions outside the points, and he's got a quick car as well. Fastest middle sector last time around for Kasper Stuka. Back to the front, as look at Freddie stare down at his left side mirror, as Arvid goes right. And Brundle, can he split the 2 British drivers? You bet he can. Nicely done into the Alboreto Parabolica. Brundle is flying. He's up into position 2. Too far back to get the slipstream from Slater. And he may well give it to the driver. He just passed Arvid Lindblad. Tuukka Tappinen is fast as well. Bora Dominguez, the second VAR car, in position 6. Slater makes car 51 as wide as possible. Brando, they go 3 right into the first chicane. 3 go in, 2 come out. Lindblad, second place. Brando, by the way, was in second. He's back into third. There's Bora, there's Dominguez trying to drag himself into this battle as well. They go through into the Rocha chicane. Zachary David behind, and it's Rashid Al-Baheri. Pradel, Spinner, Stuka, position 11. Fastest lap of the race, in fact, for the pole, 1:52.998. The only driver into the 1:52 bracket started from pole position. And in 9 laps, he has repassed 17 cars. Mind you, all of those drove past him while he was stationary out of grid 1. Coming into the final third, coming into the Ascari chicane. The final third of this final race here this weekend. There's Kasper, a 52.998. Slater checks the left side mirror. Lindblad there in second, Brando in third. 1 car going slowly in the background, minus the front wing. It looked to be Gianmarco Pradel. Into the Parabolica. There is Bora, Tappinen just behind. Kasper Stuka will keep one eye on car 37, a 52.998 last time. He is carving through the field. He's just got by Lecorte, Peebles, Deligny. And he ranges up. In fact, this is Casper. It was not Gianmarco. He's got a front left. Flat and minus the front wing. That's his day done. We were just singing his praises. Into the 152s. He was carving through the field. Was coming up behind Spinner and Rashid Al-Dahedi. They were next. But he's got a front left puncher and a broken front wing. Will pull into pit lane. That's his day done. He will not get points here this afternoon. As we come into the final third of the race, it is the drivers from England first and second. As they go down into the Roja chicane, Tappanen up the inside, gets out of the throttle on the brake pedal, and now he cuts back. Nice racing from Tuka Tappanen. Bora goes straight to his right, to your left. Watch Dominguez on the outside. This is Casper. His day is done. What a disappointment. Casper Stuka, second in the championship 21 minutes ago when we started the race, when he started from pole position. 62 points he was. He gets nothing. James Wharton, 60 points. He's also out. Ugo Ugachuko, he is the championship leader. Remember, he just served a drive-through penalty a couple of laps ago. He's still circulating, the American. He's in 26th position. So the championship will be blown wide open as we go to Barcelona, Catalonia in Spain for the championship final. The double points round. Look further on the background. There is Casper Stuka trying to make the move on Alfio Spinner. Runs over his own front wing. That punches the left front Pirelli as well. Stuka is out. First, second, third in the championship. Will get nothing from the final race here today at Monza. Slater, he certainly will if he keeps this up. The rookie who wrapped up the Ginetta Junior Series in his home country 7 days ago. In position one, Lindblad, the Red Bull Junior who made his Formula 4 debut 12 months ago in the Italian Series, did the British driver. Freddie also with a start in the British Series. As we see Tuka, not for the first time this afternoon for him, nor for just about every other driver. Well, let's be honest, let's be brutal as we get down to the final part of the weekend. Can we really blame the drivers when there are acres of asphalt runoff on just about every Grand Prix circuit around the world? It's not football. The white line means zero when you're driving a racing car at 230 k's an hour. Why wouldn't they go straight ahead? There's no consequence. Anyhow, Slater with a 0.4 of a second lead from Lindblad. Brandl still wants the win here. 8 minutes plus 1 lap remaining as the sun starts to set in the final days of summer 2023. Bora in the background. He's fourth in the race and he's fourth in the championship on 51 points. But remember, Ugo is down in 26th after that drive-through penalty. He's the championship leader. Casper has just retired and James was out on the first lap. Bora could potentially jump right up, if not the championship lead, very close to it. It's a double points round in October of the 22nd when we go to Catalonia, the Barcelona Formula 1 Grand Prix circuit, as we get back to the battle for first, second and third. The win here this afternoon. The drivers from England, first and second. The Italian, the Venetian, Brandl in third place. Seven minutes plus 1 lap remaining. The gap, 0.4 of a second, just too far back for Lindblad to get the slipstream. Brandl likewise from Arvid. There's Bora. He has to defend from Tappanen, Dominguez, David. Pradell's up into position 8. Rashid. Here is Gianmarco. In the background, Tappanen this time does make the corner. Dominguez on the outside runs out of road. And the Portuguese driver goes rallycross. Rashid senses his opportunity. And the Emirati takes him fair and square. Gianmarco Pradell capitalises as well. His former mentor, his driver coach from his karting days, Jamie Rush from Sydney here at the circuit. He'll be pleased with that. Gianmarco Pradell now up into position 8. This is the fight for the lead as the shadows, as you can see, get long here as the sun starts to shine before it sets in around about an hour's time here at Monza. Out of Lesmo 1 into Lesmo 2. Back to Bora. Tappanen. That's back to Zach. Head of Rashid, Pradell, Dominguez, and Enzo Deligny. Car 22 in position 10. There is Enzo Deligny, the French-Chinese driver, being mentored by the two-time former World Kart Racing champion, Lorenzo Trevisanuto, here at the circuit. He'll be impressed with what he's seeing. Enzo Deligny racing in the Spanish Championship. Freddie Slater with one single start in the British F4 Series. Arvid Lindblad racing in the Italian Championship, as is Brando. And this is the second round of the all-new Euro 4 Championship for 2023. Slater goes wide. There's consequences now. Yes, the asphalt runoff has been removed. Nothing but gravel, as Nyan David Birambakti found out in race 1 yesterday. One of the Cram Motorsport drivers in the background, going very wide. We'll just try and pick up who that is. They've beached it into the gravel. Looks to be Olivieri. And just kisses the wall ever so lightly out of Lesmo 2. Lindblad on the inside of Slater. Into the Roger chicane, they're side by side. Watch Brundle in the background. After a messy race yesterday and a chaotic race 2 this morning, the two English drivers go side by side. Slater launches it, he's out. Oh no, the rookie's dream weekend comes to an end. He's parked in the gravel, he went airborne over the ripple strip. Fast Freddy has stopped. Lindblad has got the race lead, Badoea up into second place. What a disappointment for this young star, car 51, with a broken front wing and front suspension as well. Went wheel to wheel with his countryman, launched airborne, had no steering, into the gravel, into the wall, and Slater is out after such an impressive weekend here at Monza. Lindblad with the lead from Brundle. He's in position 2, just under 4 minutes and 1 lap remaining here. Bora into third place, can potentially take the championship lead going into Barcelona. Freddie is out, as is the safety car. It was Olivieri who beached it at the exit of Lesmo 2. We raced green, but then with this moment just around about half a minute ago, you can see the broken front left suspension into the wall, the broken front wing. Slater, he was so impressive. Pole position on the continent yesterday for race 1, fighting wheel for wheel. The two Englishmen, they both went into the Roger chicane, only one came out. Lindblad in P1 has got the race lead. Baldoer in second and Bora in third. The safety car out. It will be a sprint to the checkered flag. Stand by. Brando Badoea senses his opportunity. Hopefully we do have at least 1 lap to race green. It should not take too long to remove the car of Freddie. That incident obviously under investigation, car 51 and car 23. Regardless, Slater is out. So we'll check the order for you while the track is cleared. Lindblad under investigation, but in position 1. Badoea in second place. Bora potentially can almost jump up into the championship league going into the double points finale in Barcelona on the 22nd of October. Tuka Tapanen, Zach David, Rashid into P6, John Marco 7, Ivan Dominguez, Alfio Spina and Enzo Deligny in the points in position 10. The safety car in this lap. We may actually get 2 laps. The safety car board is at the moment being correctly displayed. We pray that it's withdrawn correctly this time. Oh, please. If you're just joining our coverage, a chaotic incident this morning. And before the rumours get out of hand, the FIA, together with the ACI, have convened a meeting for the 4th and 5th of October. That's when it will be deliberated and decided. There are 3 options at the moment. But race 2, the results have been frozen. Everyone is well aware of exactly what happened. The person involved, the individual who did, let's be honest, he incorrectly displayed that board. He has been removed from his post and he has been removed from the circuit. Let's leave that aside. As the safety car prepares to pull into pit lane, they'll be close to crossing the line, so we may actually get 2 laps. Can see the clock ticking down. Darianani, car 97, behind Tina Hausman, ahead of Pablo Sarrazan. Lindblad wants to go just one more time. Backs the field up. The clock is ticking down. 25 seconds plus 1 lap now. It'll be tight, even though he's at walking pace. Brando will try. He'll have at least 1 lap, potentially 2 before I finish that sentence. It's made redundant. It'll be a 1-lap sprint. Look at the clock, 10 seconds plus 1 lap. They won't make it past the line, even if Arvid Lindblad goes right now, which he's about to do. The green flag flies. Lindblad leads. And Brando tries to attack the Englishman, a 1-lap sprint. Race 3, round 2, the Euro 4 Championship here at the home of the Italian Grand Prix. Lindblad darts to his left, to his right. He's zigzagging down the straight at over 240 k's an hour. Brando decides he's had enough of this, pulls out. Goes to his left, to your right. He gets the slipstream. The Italian versus the Englishman, Van Amersfoort Racing versus the Prema Racing team on the outside. Goes straight ahead. 2, 3 cars straight through the chicane where there's nothing but asphalt and no consequence. Lindblad, he will retake the lead as they go down into the Roger chicane, which he does now. Brando, another opportunity to attack as Lindblad makes car 23 very, very wide. Zachary David's right there as well, as is Tuukka Tappinen. Out of the Rocher chicane into the Lesmo curves for the final time. Brando, has he missed his opportunity? Bora and Zachary David, both for the US racing team. Lindblad, surely he's got this in the bag. He's made a brilliant restart out of Lesmo 2. Down through Saraglio, under the historic old banking which survived demolition proposals in the 1990s, thankfully. As we see Giacomo Pedrini with a broken front wing, he'll limp to the checkered flag down through the Ascari chicane. Lindblad has got the race lead. Brando P2, but he desperately wants the win. He won't do it. Down the back straight for the final time. The sun sets in the final days of summer here at Monza. Race 3, round 2 of the Euro 4 Championship. Brando gets the slipstream into the Michele Alboreto Parabolica. They fight for the final step of the podium. At the moment, it's being held by Akshay Bora, who's in contention to take the championship lead, but position 1 goes to the Red Bull Junior from the Kings England. Arvid Lindblad wins race 3 here at Monza. Brando Badoer races across the line into 2nd place. Bora, position 3, and rockets up into contention for the final round going into Barcelona, Spain on the 22nd of October. Lindblad, the Red Bull Junior, wins race 3 of the Euro 4 Championship here at Monza. The gap, 0.6 of a second between Arvid and Brando, and Bora in 3rd place. As if the weekend was not controversial enough, just remembering that Arvid Lindblad is under investigation, or that incident between himself and Freddie Slater in the corner they're approaching now, which eliminated the impressive rookie on debut in the Euro 4 Championship. Arvid Lindblad is under investigation. He did take the checkered flag first. He controlled the restart beautifully. Brando Badoer tried to attack. He had a fast car here this afternoon. Not as fast as Kasper Stuka, who, although he did retire, was into the 152s, but picks up nothing from the final race here this afternoon. He's among the 4 retirements. Ugo Ugatuku, the championship leader after that drive-through penalty with James Wharton, crosses the line in position 23. There is the race winner, Arvid Lindblad, the Red Bull Junior from Brando Badoer, and Bora onto the podium in 3rd place. Good drive from Zach David. P4, the US racing drivers. Akshay and Zach, 3rd and 4th from Tuka Tapanen. Dominguez, 6th. We'll take a look at the results for you in just a moment. There's Arvid trying to pick up as much as possible. Formula 4 debut for the multiple WSK kart racing champion Arvid Lindblad. He won the WSK Euro Series, the WSK Supermaster Series, just trying to pick up an extra few grams. Both times for the Kart Republic team in the past few seasons, a Formula 4 debut at the Red Bull Ring in 2022. And he puts himself back into contention as well. He was 5th coming into this, the final race this weekend, on 49 points, but picks up 25. So puts him up into 74 points. And remember, Casper, 2nd half an hour ago, came into the final race of this weekend on 62 points. So Arvid has leapfrogged at least Casper and also James into 2nd place in the championship. Border, P3 for the US racing team. Brilliant performance. He was fast this weekend from Brando Badoao at the same circuit where his father Luca took out the Formula 3 Gran Premio di Lotteria, or the Lottery Grand Prix for Formula 3 cars back in 1990 something. I think it was 91, back when there were 70 Formula 3 cars on the grid, taking the start, if you don't mind, back in the day as well. There's the race winner, Arvid Lindblad, the Red Bull Junior. His father, Stefan, here at the circuit. His mother, not. Should be cheering on from their home outside London. Arvid goes P1 and gets some redemption for the chaos which occurred this morning at Monza. Lindblad wins from Badoao and Border. We'll try and get a word with the race winner in just a moment. Nice to see Arvid smiling. He did deserve that. A fabulous drive. 2nd place for Brando Badoao in car 15. But the race winner is Arvid Lindblad, who's down with Laura Kohler.
A spectacular race, very not so easy, but you're a fighter, you have a lot of experience, so you did it.
Yeah, it was a difficult race. We didn't have the speed. We've been not perfect this week, definitely not as good as we were last time we were here. So I've struggled a bit more, but yeah, I had to rely on different skills today to get the result. In the beginning, I was just focused on getting a good start, did that, stayed in the mix on the first laps, then got a good restart, was behind Fred, went in the front but didn't have the pace to stay there, and then we're just sitting behind him waiting, and then I saw an opportunity, I went for it. Yeah, not too much to say about the incident. But anyway, super happy with the result. Yeah, just good to win again, good to be back on the podium. It's been a difficult past few races, so I'm just really happy to be back here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The driver of the Euro 4 to the podium ceremony, please.
Arvid Lindblad takes the victory from Brando Badoao. They'll stand on the podium in the moment, as will Akshay, who rockets up into contention for the Euro 4 Championship. Zachary David, his teammate, 4th. Tuka Tapanen, Dominguez, Aldeheri, that's Rashid ahead of Marco, Enzo Deligny, and Il Siciliano, Alfio, car 9, position 10 for BVM Racing. Good recovery from Nicola. Remember, he was in the gravel in the Ascari chicane in the opening stages. Griffin Peebles, P12. Good result again from Better Bhakti ahead of Ricky Lund. Dadianani, KD ahead of Pablo Sarrazan. Tina Hausman Larini, Della Torre, Rafa Modenese on debut. Kamal Murad, Ugo Ugochukwu, the championship leader after that drive-through penalty, position 23. Ismail Ahmed and Giacomo Pedrini rounds out the field. So this is the championship as we go into the final round in Spain in just on a month's time. Ugo, 98 points, gets nothing out of this afternoon. He's still in the championship lead by 13 points over Arvid Lindblad. James, incredibly, is still in third place. Remember, it is a double points round. Akshay Bora moves up into fourth place in 72 points. We'll take a look at the highlights of the final race of the second round of the Euro 4 Championship here at Monza. From pole position, Kasper Stuka went nowhere. The pole from pole position stalled, fell back to 27th place, got it fired up, was lucky to be avoided by the rest of the field as Slater centred down the inside, went wheel to wheel with Akshay Bora, and the Englishman in position 1. Locked up, held his nerve, held the wheel, and took the race lead. A relatively clean start. Bora rocketed up into second place. This was Nicola Lacorte, who went rallycross through the Ascari chicane. Ultimately would finish pretty well for Nicola, just a point out, position outside the points. Ugo into the back of James. This was the moment where the McLaren Junior ran into the back of the Ferrari Junior, the two Prema Racing teammates. Ugo with a drive-through penalty ultimately would finish in 23rd place. James was out. Freddie Slater with the race leaders. Brando Badoer set fastest lap after fastest lap. On the inside, he would take Arvid Lindblad, who would ultimately go on to win the race. Brando Badoer was absolutely flying. Went up into position 2. The Englishman first and second as one of 5 Italians in the field. Flavio Olivieri ended in the gravel at Lesmo 2. And this was the moment when the impressive run from the impressive rookie came to an end. The English drivers first and second. Freddie in car 51. Arvid, the Red Bull Junior, on the outside. They made contact. Freddie went airborne, broken front suspension, into the gravel, into the wall. Slater was out. The safety car correctly deployed this time. And Brando sensed his opportunity, went straight through the chicane though, and that cost him. Lindblad took the race lead just a couple of miles from that checkered flag. And from there, Badoer had to defend from Bora and David, both for the US racing team. Lindblad would take the checkered flag and now move up into second place in the championship, going into the series final in Barcelona, Spain on the 22nd of October. Great drive from Akshay Bora. Again, he was quick. He finishes P3. Brando. Good performance from him for Van Amersfoort Racing. And Arvid Lindblad from the Kings England wins the final race of round 2, the Euro 4 Championship, the inaugural season presented by WSK Promotion here at the home of the Italian Grand Prix. Third place to Akshay, whose older brother Nikhil was competing in the Formula Regional European Championship earlier this afternoon. Second to Brando, and Arvid Lindblad takes victory here at Monza. Valentina happily accepts once again the team's trophy for the Prema Racing team as we listen to the national anthem of England, Great Britain. Arvid Lindblad moves up into second in the championship. Ugo Ugochukwu crosses the line in position 23, but the driver from New York, USA, is the championship leader. We'll see you at Barcelona in Spain on the 22nd of October to decide the inaugural Euro 4 Championship. We'll see you in Spain in a month.